The property plan. It would be nice if making sense of your property evaluation was as easy as finding that $700,000 worth of repairs that are needed, saying, Mr. Seller, we want to reduce our asking price by $700,000. Take it or leave it. It's not that simple. With many properties, we might look at that $700,000 repair bill as part of a bigger picture. And that bigger picture is called the property plan. You will reach your financial goals much quicker if you can find property that is underperforming and kick it into shape through sound management. As you probably know by now, sound management means reducing expenses and raising income. That's how you increase the value of your investment. Hopefully, during your evaluation and your due diligence, you found some specific ways to increase the cash flow of the property. The property itself should be showing you the money. If you aren't seeing increased income potential around almost every corner, then you're not looking very well, or there may not be much. If it's the latter, you may want to consider another alternative property. Your team members should be active participants in your mission of finding income-generating or expense-saving opportunities. They will see things you don't see. If you think there's no creativity in this business, you are dead wrong. I have more fun just walking properties with my team and just exploring the opportunities. Remember, that's how money is made. When you and your team see things that other people don't see and then capitalize on them. At this point, your job is to ask, what if? And with every what if, enter the numbers into the budget and see how the bottom line shapes up. Here are a few what ifs you should be asking of the properties that you are considering. What if I increase the rents? What if I renovate the units and I can increase the rents? Will it increase my vacancy? Can I test it on vacant units before issuing increases to my existing residents? What is my market rent in the area, and are my rents in line with that market? What if I need to attract new residents? Do I have a system in place? Do I have a waiting list if I am full? Am I keeping in touch with the vacancy rates and the concessions in the area by communicating with my team and surveying competitors regularly? Is that advertising that I'm using worth the expense? And is it making my telephone ring? Is it getting me leads? Am I getting emails? What does the advertising cost per rental? What if I plan to adhere to the lease agreement? Will it generate more income through late fees, non-sufficient fund fees, and parking fees, and water and sewer fees? As you can see, there are lots of ways to increase income and reduce expenses. It just takes looking at the property and seeing the opportunities and understanding the residents' needs. The operating budget. In the earlier videos, I taught you how to read a seller's pro forma and to make an offer. The steps to the budget are not all that much different. You calculate the property income by using the income and the information you received on the actual income statement, the rent survey, the rent roll, the operating statements, and then you look at the expenses based on the actual and projected expenses you gleaned from the due diligence process. Let's look at the income first and revisit some of our concepts in a new light. The main source of income on most any property is usually the rent that existing residents are paying. That's the actual potential income of the property. For that reason, you'll want your rent figures to be as accurate as possible based on the information that you have. The easiest way to get this information is to get the existing rent roll or the schedule of what each resident is paying, put the units in numerical order, and add up the rent amounts. Another way is to physically review each lease at the property and write down the rent each occupant is paying and mark off all the vacant units. It's a good idea to do this anyway, just to make sure that all the residents listed have binding lease agreements. Once your analysis is completed, your spreadsheet should look something like this. Based on this rent roll, the actual income including the vacant unit is $3,492 per month. Use this number as your actual potential income in your budget. Other income opportunities. Most properties have other income opportunities. These should also be factored into your budget. The most common examples of other income budget items should include the following: laundry income, parking income, water and sewer income, late fees, non-sufficient funds fees, cable income, internet revenue, telephone income. From the operating statements and the individual ledger cards for each resident, you should get an idea of what other types of income exist at that property. After all, someone has to deposit this money into the bank account. Sometimes this information is difficult to get from the seller. Not everyone is a good bookkeeper. You will need to recreate the records from the facts you do know. For example, if there is a laundry room with coin-operated washers and dryers, and you do not see the laundry income on the seller's income and expense statements, you will need to go directly to the company that services the machines and collects the coins to find out exactly how much you should expect on a monthly basis.